Well, this message is for the Latinos who voted for Trump, more specifically the Cubanos. See, I told you. Now your asses are going to be sent back to your fucking country. You're going to lose all your businesses, livelihoods, all your friends. All because you thought you were fucking light-skinned enough to go ahead and get a free fucking pass. How does it feel now, huh? To have somebody tell you that you don't fucking belong here. For someone to tell you that even though you got signed work to be here, that they're going to go ahead and revoke it. Crazy, right? And now this is the consequences of your fucking actions because you wanted to be a fucking pick-me. And when you're back in Cuba and you're sitting there wondering what the fuck happened or how things went wrong, remember, you did this. This is your fault. This is your problem that you need to deal with now.
Cubans for Trump. It's not a clapback. I'm not trying to fight with you. We had enough words before, during, and after the election. I know that you've been living your life by putting, and like most Trumpsters, you put your head in the sand, only listen to Fox News, and he's banking on that, and you haven't been paying attention to what's going on in the world. Trump, as of about 7 hours ago, revoked the parole program for more than 500,000 Cubans, Haitian, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. And that's not the bad part of this, right? The bad part about this is that he's given everyone, as of March 25th, 30 days to leave this country on your own. If not, Homeland Security and ICE are coming for you. Go look it up. Article is right here. Now, I'm entitled to, and I told you so. I don't take any pleasure in telling you this news. I try to help you before the election, because had we had Kamala Harris, this would not be happening to you, and it would not be happening to me, because I know goddamn well I'm next. I'm Puerto Rico. I'm fucking next. Somehow, some way, my ass is next. So, with that being said, you've had your head in the sand and you haven't been paying attention to the news because all you listen to is Fox News. Well, what has been happening is that undocumented immigrants, or those that he has now deemed no longer welcome in the country, have been rounded up, but they're not being sent back to their countries. They're being sent to El Salvador because Marco Rubio, one of your own, made an agreement with El Salvador and the president that's Arab, and made an agreement that that's where they're going to send the deportees. That center is one of the worst prisons in the world, known as the confinement of terrorism. And that's where he's sending people without any criminal records. Just go look it up. And maybe you were one of those Cubans that was clapping your hands. That's exactly what needs to happen, but that's about what's going to happen to you. If you do not willingly deport yourself out of this country. I tried to tell you a week ago in another video that you needed to start making other arrangements other than the United States. And I know none of you chimed in. None of you want to hear. I'm pretty sure most of you got me blocked. You need to put your girl down as somebody you need to listen to, because what I've said to you up to date is absolutely accurate as I called it. With that being said, please know that birthright citizens are next, and so are naturalized citizens, and so are green card holders. I told you before the election, he only wanted your vote, and now he's proven it. He don't give a damn. You voted in can't even say it. You voted a dictator, just like Fidel Castro, into office, and now you're seeing the cruelty of what it is to be a dictator. I don't want to see you separated from your kids, and I most definitely do not want to see you end up in that prison. Please heed my warning. Start making arrangements for a country other than the United States, because within the next couple of months, this country will not accept you anymore, and I don't give a fuck what your citizen status is. But y'all have a blessed day.
I remember during the last election, the Cubans were lined up for the President Trump, the current administration. They were angry, waving flags in the streets. Cubans for Trump. Interesting. Very interesting.
Hello tribe, welcome to this particular channel. I go by Sherlock in case this is your first time. Now, this is the tea. Nobody's spared. No special cows here. Venezuelans, Cubans, shoo, back home. Donald Trump was after their votes. But of course, you've seen different reactions, different sentiments from different quarters, and even the Venezuelans themselves. Now, despite the fact that Marco Rubio hails from the community, that couldn't deter Trump's, agenda and policies of eradicating those ones that are deemed to be, dangerous aliens. For the first time, we're going to call them aliens. Hey, aliens are finding their way home. Forgive me. But guys, join me because you're going to be listening from different people, different sentiments, which are going to be made from different quarters. And of course, as usual, guys, I'm going to circle back with more sentiments, more comments over the same. So hang around. The tea is not yet done. And of course, let the conversation continue on the comment section. Do drop us your comments of exactly what you think, because next it will be you. So let's watch out. Let's keep on watching, and then of course, at the end,
530,000 migrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela can thank themselves. They were all given asylum, given green cards, and the first thing they did was go back to the scary country that they came from to visit mom, tia, and tío. Just now, the revocation terminates the 2-year parole granted under the CHNV program, which allowed migrants from these countries to enter the U.S. legally with financial sponsorships. So they had somebody here, somebody sponsored them, brought them in, they got green cards. Effective date, the policy change is set to take effect April 24th, 2025. Implications for migrants, those affected will lose their legal status. So they're losing their green card and become subject to expedited removal if they do not secure an alternative legal protection. The administration argues that the previous use of parole programs overstep legal boundaries and seeks to enhance immigration enforcement. Again, they all said they were scared to be in their country, came here, and then when they got their green card, they all went back on vacation. Messed it up for everybody else in the future. Messed it up for those who didn't do that. The ones that came and never went back to visit because they were really scared, their shit's getting revoked too. Advocacy groups are preparing to challenge these decisions in federal courts, questioning the administration's authority to terminate these productions. We'll see how far they get with that. There's another 240,000 Ukrainians who this might be expanded to. More to come on that left Ukraine because of the Russia-Ukraine war. They might get revoked too. That's still on the table.
Just ordered the deportation of 500,000 Cuban, Venezuelan, and Haitian immigrants that came here the right way. And my question for my fellow Cubans is, are y'all still feeling special? My entire childhood was spent being fed the narrative that our family came here the right way, and that everybody else that's complaining about being deported, well, they just need to go back to where they came from, start the process over legally. I don't want to ever hear another Cuban American say some shit like that ever again. I'm going to laugh in your face. Maybe you all will finally realize that no matter how much you try to blend into white Western European culture, no matter how much you try to pretend that you don't eat ham croquettes for breakfast and that you've never had ajiaco for dinner in your entire life, the problem is that Donald Trump is never going to see you as human. It's always been about racism. Here's the part that we like to talk about in our homes when no one else is listening, but I'm going to go ahead and say that quiet part out loud. You all think that you are better than every other type of Latino American. Conservative Cuban Americans, MAGA Cuban Americans, think that you are better than every other flavor of Latino American. And now we have proof. You are no different. We are no better than anybody else. No matter how many times you place your vote for Donald Trump and the Republican Party, they are still going to see you as subhuman. And even if you hang your hat on the fact that you came here the right way, at the end of the day, it's not going to matter to him, because if he wants you gone, he's going to find a way to disappear you.
So, y'all make this song that says, "Oh my God, I will vote for Donald Trump," right? 500,000 Cubans, Venezuelans, and Haitians have to self-deport by a deadline. I kind of feel bad for the Haitians because they really, you know, some of them really didn't have nothing to do with it. But you know what? Never mind. That's none of my business. That's none of my business at all. Yo, 92%, what y'all about to do? Because I'm about to clean out my garage because it's kind of messy in here. And it's kind of spring. It's time for spring cleaning. So, yeah. What are y'all doing? Yep, that's none of my business. Yep, this is none of my business.
Major policy change by the Trump administration. Officials are now telling more than 500,000 people from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela who came to the U.S. legally under a sponsorship process created by the Biden administration that they have 30 days to pack their bags, to self-register for self-deportation on a smartphone app created by the government and leave the country voluntarily. If not, the Department of Homeland Security, Vlad, is warning that they will be found, arrested, and deported from the country. And in 30 days, their deportation protections and work permits will expire. These people, again, came to the U.S. legally and right now have legal status, but in the next 30 days, unless a federal court intervenes, they will become part of the undocumented population.
Where are my Miami Cubans at? Stand up for what you supported in 2024. Stand up for what you supported. Oh, you thought he wasn't talking about you, right? He wasn't talking about you. He was talking about the illegals. Even though we tried to tell you, if your skin color was brown and you talk Spanish, he wants you out of the country. You thought, oh, he's not talking about me. We tried to warn you. The mass deportations in U.S. history affect communities of color indiscriminately. How do they know if you're undocumented or not? They're going to harass you. So even revoking legal status for 500,000 Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans, how are they going to find out which ones just lost their legal status? Where are they going to find them? They're going to be searching these neighborhoods as they have been already. You know, when I moved from Michigan to Florida, I was young, naive. I didn't know what had happened in 2000, but I was shocked when I learned that Cubans in Miami were Republicans. Because coming from Michigan, I knew who the Republicans were. And they couldn't stand the Cubans. And it's like, you're voting for people who can't stand you. They tolerate you because you stay in Miami and you're not venturing out to Iowa. You're not venturing out into the Midwest to realize that the people you're supporting want you out of their country. FAFO. But stand up and own what you supported. Round of applause. Greatness is here. Enjoy it.
Now do you understand that it was never about your legal status? It was just about the fact that you were not white. Trump told you that he was going to do this and you let him use you. Cubans for Trump, Latinos for Trump, dogs for slaughterhouses, and y'all voted for him. And it's just because you had too much disdain for a black woman. You could not stand to see a black woman make it into the position of power that y'all wanted, so you voted for the man who wanted to send you back to your war-torn countries. Because most of these visas, the over 500,000 visas that he's revoking, are visas that Biden gave to people who were fleeing war-torn countries. Biden did so much for the country, provided so much solitude, gave the people a fighting chance, alley-ooped it up to Harris, and you guys said, no, she's black, fuck that shit. Now you have a month to self-deport, not a month to contest, not a month to get your legal status in order. He is giving 500,000 people a month to self-deport or face deportation through ICE. And you know what ICE is now? They take you to Guantanamo Bay. They're going to make you slave labor. And you know who doesn't have rights in America? Non-citizens. I remember vividly arguing with people, letting them know that it did not matter if you got here legally. It does not matter how you are as an immigrant, if you're a model immigrant. If you are not a white American, they were not going to protect you. And we told you all. What? I just saw a video of Cubans on the boat singing Cubans are going to vote for Trump. You see the first list of people on this? Cubans. And they were one of the loudest supporters of Trump. It makes no sense. He said he was going to do this. I need to know, why did y'all vote for him when y'all knew he was going to do this?
Trump has revoked the legal status of over 500,000 Cubans, Nicaraguans, Venezuelans, and Haitians. Patriots, check in. This is Secret Service and President of TikTok. This is crazy because there is so many Cubans in Miami. I actually have Cuban family, and a lot of them did vote for Trump. Yikes, how's it working out for you guys? Because they're like, no, he's not going to deport us. He's going to deport them, not us. Yeah, well, the news is in and you don't have the complexion for the protection. Oh, he foffoed, he foffoed, he foffoed, he foffoed. He effed around and found out. What do you guys think about this? Do you guys know any family members that have been affected by this at all? I have several Haitian friends, Nicaraguan friends. This is just not right. Everybody agrees we want to clean up our streets and get the criminals out of our country, but with due process. Due process. We have to process things. I mean, it's ridiculous. Does anybody remember the Constitution? I mean, it's so funny how many people are like, Constitution, I love the Constitution. Yeah, we're American. Yeah, and unless it works out good for you, and then you don't care. Because the honesty is, the human flaw is, if it's not in your front yard, you don't care about it till it gets into your front yard. Well, let me know, all my Cubanos, huh? Because my niece is Cuban. We're Jewish. We're Cubans. She's a Cuban. I'm actually a cashew because I'm Catholic and Jewish. My wife is Catholic. Anyway, I digress. Patriots, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you know anybody who's been affected? All my Miami Patriots, shout out. Let me know what you think. Secret Service Sam Mount Sampson for president of TikTok.
La Fefa Cubano. It's not that these fuckers didn't think the leopards would eat their face. They thought they were fucking leopards. Earlier this week, the Trump administration removed a program that Biden had implemented that allowed temporary legal status of immigrants from Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua. The program, implemented by Biden, worked that you had to be vetted, work here, and have a financial sponsor. Trump decided no go. And 530,000 people who came here for temporary legal status to work are now going to have to leave. Their status has been revoked, and they will have 30 days to get the fuck out. So the Cubans4Trump, how'd this work out for you? That red wave that went through Florida, you could ride that bitch all the way back to Cuba. We tried to fucking tell you. I don't understand. Folks from Cuba that want to avoid an authoritative communistic regime like Castro somehow gravitate to the fucking Republicans. Look at these fucking assholes down here. Look at these flags on this fucking boat. You think that Trump in any way is going to help anyone that's not white? Cubans aren't light enough. To Trump and the people in power, you're nothing but la cucarachas.
Hello tribe, I told you that I will circle back with more comments and more sentiments over the same. So it is evidently clear that Trump doesn't spare anybody. You know, before even he got into office, he had promised that he's turning America into, the golden age. The golden age, what does that tell you? It tells you that first America comes first and the rest. And again, given the fact that, you see, there were some hiccups during his campaign. Remember the moment that Trump was shortened. Most likely, he must have had this particular grudge. He harbored this particular thing that the moment that he gets there, he's going to make sure that all by the name of criminal gangs, organizations that are deemed to be legal, irrespective of their nature, they're going to find their way. They're going to find themselves out of the country. So if to some extent they pose some danger. Now, I think this is a reactionary response. This is not like a policy that everybody would celebrate. It's not a popular opinion here. But again, I can tell you that it is an ulterior motive. That's to me. But also do stand corrected. Do drop in your comments on the comment section. Let me know exactly what you think. Could this be a driven, an ulterior motive driven as a result of what has happened, his experience, and therefore we can judge it from this other end that you see he's making up this on, or is doing this, or is reacting to what probably had been done to him. That is my opinion. I also do stand corrected. Let me know on the comment section, and let that conversation continue in the comment section. Let's see each other in the next one. Adiós.